Greetings, friends. Welcome to our second Virgo new moon meeting, the group check-in meeting. I just realized that our slide says that it's Cancer new moon. Don't believe that it's the Virgo new moon, second Virgo new moon. And we meet for our group check-in as we do every new moon. This is a special year for all of us. The year of the hierarchical conclave, when the hierarchy meditates on the unfolding plan and on the purpose. We stand in meditative receptivity, listening together. In a way, it's a year of vigil for us. Every time when we meet around the time of the new moon, we share our recognitions, inquiring the way together. So this is our special time when we come in the circle, listen, and share together. Today, we begin with a slightly different flow of our meeting, introducing a new ritual, which Daniela will take us into. Over to you, Daniela.
Hello, dear friends. So this ritual is inspired by an event that we experienced as the 2025 group when we were visiting Argentina. It was, I think, last day that we were there, and we were seated on a porch of Casa Uruswati, together with many people. I think more than 20. I don't remember anymore how many, but a lot of people. We were in a large circle, and we started our sharing with a ritual that Marta led us into, where she would name everybody in the circle and inviting them to first state the groups they are affiliated with, that they work with or they are part of. And she would name the person and then say, te escuchamos, which means we are listening to you. So we will do a little something that resembles this ritual, imagining we are on a porch together in a circle, and I will be starting the naming and ask you to say, so what group you are affiliated with. I'm Daniela, and I work with the 2025 Initiatives Coordination Group. And so I will follow what I see on my screen. So there is no particular order, but how my screen looks like. So Grete, we are listening.
Okay, thank you. I'm Grete, and I am part of the Hechal group. Yes.
Thank you and welcome.
Thank you.
Claire, we are listening.
Thank you, Daniela. This is a beautiful way to introduce ourselves and our groups. Thank you. I'm working with the 2025 initiative too.
Thank you and welcome. Uta, we are listening.
Thank you. I am part of Hechal, and of Klangschale.
Thank you and welcome. Jan or Ian, we are listening.
Hello all. My name's Ian and I'm part of the INEH UK group.
Thank you. Welcome. Kiki, we are listening.
Hello, I'm Kiki, and I am part of 2025, all the various things they do, and INEH too, I guess. Thank you.
Thank you and welcome. Helen, we are listening.
Hello. I too am with the INEH UK, the International Network for Energy Healing, and I'm part of their teacher group as well. And I like to think I belong to the 2025 initiative, particularly the Vigil group and the New Moon group. And also work with the Tree of Light group, and together with Kiki also, we have a planetary healing group which we meditate together on Thursdays, and we are a remnant of the World Service intergroup from the healing group from then. So, but I like to think they're all linked together as part of the healing for humanity and the planet. So thank you.
Welcome. Gillian, we are listening.
Hello. I'm part of the 2025 group, the Heckle group, the Lucis Trust Arcane School group, Triangles, and World Goodwill.
Welcome. Christine, we are listening.
My name is Christine, thank you. And I work in Association Rainbow Bridge, Institute of Planetary System, Planetary Institut pour la synthèse planétaire, voilà. L'intergroupe avec Alcor et l'école arcane, la bonne volonté mondiale, les triangles.
Bienvenue.
Merci.
Elisa, we are listening.
Hello, I am Elisa Trege from Brazil. I am part of 2025 and Avatar Cultural Foundation. Thank you.
Welcome. Margot, we are listening.
I'm a member of Society for the Enhancement of Quality of Life, or SEQUAL, and I also participate in the many offerings of the 2025 initiative, in particular with the COP. Thank you.
Welcome. Andrea, we are listening. Andrea writes, forgive my silence today. I am part of the UN SDG, Common Good, and 2025 Vigil groups. I'm from Manchester, Vermont, with you all in love. Thank you, Andrea, and welcome. Darcy, we are listening.
I must say, I'm being challenged how to answer that question, because I do feel that where we participate and where I'm the heart center of the new group of World Service. the mothership is Arcane School, Lucis Trust, yet each of you I'm familiar with, and if not physically available, which that pause has been taken this year to focus with the hierarchy and the work that we're doing, I'm with you subjectively. I have you on my calendar for the most part. Some of you, please forgive me. I'm not familiar. I'm still growing with understanding the healing work is very attractive to me that I'm hearing. But just know that I'm part of the new group of world servers, and I do have a focus of understanding, and I'm supporting each and every one of you in all of our endeavors. Thank you.
Thank you and welcome. Joanne, we are listening.
Well, I missed the first part, so I'll just say that my name is Jo for most people. And I kind of echo Darcy's sentiment in that we are all part of all of these groups. And the primary for me, I think the focus has been in recent years, all of the 2025 work is really, I think, where my heart lives. And it expands out to all of the affiliated groups. I have a couple of groups that I work with weekly who are all members of all the different groups, and Sequel has become a resonating presence in my life. But it is all part of the one world serving group, and it is a pleasure. I always want you to know that whenever I'm present online, I do sound everyone's name who's attending and those who are part of the regular work. And I find that to be just an affirmation almost daily of the expansion of the work of the Triangles group, which all of us started probably decades ago. So been part of major healing groups through the Moria Federation and other work. So it's just always delightful to be present with you. And thank you all for all that you do in holding the light and the space that we embody on behalf of hierarchy.
Thank you and welcome. Eva, we are listening. You will have to unmute, probably, if you can. We are not hearing anything, so if any problems, please do not hesitate to put your message in the chat, writing. We welcome you and thank you for being with us. Maria Cristina, we are listening.
Lives in the desert. We call our little Tucson unit of service. Mother node, I would have to say, Lucius since the 70s. Supportive of 2025 initiative since 2012, and Hekal worked for, like Darcy said, but daily vigil, definitely feel the responsibility and participation in the daily vigil. I will stop. Like all of us, I think the work goes back in affiliations, but here, Labs in the Desert. Thank you.
Thank you and welcome. Ben, we are listening.
I'm Ben in the Bronx, New York, Lenape territory, the Delaware Nation. I'm in too many groups. When I wake up in the morning, I sit before a mirror and I can't see my face. There's an icon of Christ where my face would be. And I think of the new group of world servers and the world intergroup, the one planetary server. Then I painfully think of the world interbeing. And I'm here dedicated to shepherding first readers, the children, learning through words.
Thank you. Welcome. Katya, we are listening.
Hi. Oh, sorry, no video at the moment. Katja Kaufman, New York, 2025 initiative. Hekal, community of living ethics. Lord Bridge, Russian groups. There are many groups really that resonate. And of course, Lucis. And so I would say the main group is the new group, really. And the services. So the new group is hearing one another. We know one another. And so this energy that comes, and the love that comes, and the will to serve is being shared among us together as one. Thank you.
You. Lynn, we are listening.
Thank you. I'll start my video too. Hello to everyone. I missed the first question, but I'm assuming that you want to know something about my background. And so I'll just say my main group is Common Good in 2025 group, although I tune into some other things too. And I keep my name on lists for groups that I can't always attend just because I want to feel connected and want to think that my energy is going there too. I started reading Alice Bailey when I was in my 20s, discovered her in a little bookstore, esoteric bookstore where I was working. And since then have been, well, at first I meditated with a woman named Elizabeth Bacon, who was a great teacher, who was well-versed in many esoteric studies and called herself a universal soul, which I think we all are. And more lately, I've been mainly with 2025, but there are local groups, and I seem to have the message when I came into this life and grew up that I needed to live a normal life and try to be a worker, an esoteric worker. So a good chunk of my time goes to what you would call normal life with a child and a husband. And I'm retired now, but for a long time I was a school teacher. And I think I do believe that our work, I believe myself essentially a part of the new group of world servers, as other people have said. And I try to be inclusive whenever I do any work of all of us. And then once I hit that soul point and try to relate to the hierarchy and beyond, then I try to include all souls and spread that energy. What else? I do believe that we work on two important levels. I believe we are channels for energy between the higher and lower kingdoms, just energy, not without words, just energy. And I also think that we are at the point where we can create thought forms that will bring in the new age, help bring in the new age. So I wake up in the morning and I meditate a little bit, and then I try to listen as well as I can and formulate thoughts when I can. The people here in the groups I'm in here are wonderful people. I'm in Columbus, Ohio, in the US. And our license plates used to say, Ohio, the heart of it all. I don't know that that's necessarily true, but I do think there's a lot of heart here underneath all the struggle. So, and Columbus, Ohio is a very diverse, energetic place. So many local groups.
Thank you, Lynn. Thank you very much.
Sorry about that. Okay, sorry, Alex.
Thank you and welcome.
Thank you.
And so we have Edwin. Please share with us what group you are affiliated with. We are listening to you.
Hello, my name is Edwin from Kenya. I'm a member of the 12th meditation group.
Thank you and
Hello,
welcome.
can you hear me?
Yes.
Thank you.
And back to Alexander. Which groups are you affiliated with?
Thank you. I'm part of the 2025 initiative group, the Meditation for Common Good group, Life Bridge group, Ukrainian group, meditative group. Thank you.
Thank you. Back to you then.
Very stimulating to hear everyone's voices. So with this, it will take us now into alignment, which today Uta will lead us. And as always for our meditative alignment, we ask us to turn off our videos and focus inwardly.
Okay. So let us start with a deep breath. Breath of livingness. And bringing our full presence to this present moment, where we are right on the eclipse, almost at the new moon. Just standing for a moment at this special time, in this special planetary alignment. And as we do so, let us bring the note, the essence of our group or groups that we are part of. And let these notes here now blend into consonance, vibrational consonance. Into one field of coherence. And knowing ourselves in consonance with our fellow workers all over the world, new group of world servers, the Ajna center of the planet. And as this planetary group, world group, we stand receptive and attentive to both humanity and hierarchy. Let's stand there for a moment very consciously, receptive in both directions. And in this function and position, let us now open for a few moments of silence to what is emergent, standing in the silence of this eclipse, in the crack between the worlds at the full moon, at the new moon, and just being a moment with the emerging recognitions for us to respond to. And keeping this channel open, bringing the high vibration, emerging fiery seeds into our field, shared field. And returning to our own grounding in the here and now.
So let us now open our circle, sharing our recognitions of the past month, our field notes, and thus to inquire the way together. We have the function of the automatic translation. If English is not your first language, please choose the language and settings that you will use to share. Then everyone could read the translated sharing in their own language. What are our main recognitions since our last time together in the circle?
Hi. I think everything now is coming to the boil, as it were. I think things are quickening up. People, wrongdoers are being exposed more readily, and people are being given the opportunity to see what side of the fence they want to be on, whether they want to be on the one that continues living as they have and perhaps getting what they can for as little as possible, or whether they'd like to just join and try harder to bring better things to earth through better behavior and more selflessness. Thanks.
This past period has expanded what we began quite some time ago together, to open in this year in particular to these much broader downpourings that are coming through. And I'm reminded of what is in esoteric astrology related to Virgo, that there are actually, I think, 8 signs that are held in that womb of time, the womb of the cosmic Christ. And what has come forth in participating and then also studying and meditating during this time is the need to continue to open to that higher impress without editing, I think is my word. We are all living dual lives. We're living the life of these times, and we are each in our way a beacon to those who surround us on a daily basis. And this obligation to be both mother and child, and yet to allow the spirit to permeate through, which is at times very difficult because of all the distractions. But in the essence of what I receive in every single one of the group meetings is this confirmation that we are continuing to stand ever more at the midway point. And we are this link, some of us between the new group, all the 7 Ray ashrams that are present in that group, and to hold the resonance of those groups, not just the groups that I am comfortable with, I guess I would say. We all have so much to learn in terms of compassion and to truly receive the wisdom and then be able to hold that steady so that those around us can begin to resonate with it. And I believe we are doing that. There is just a vibrancy, no matter what arena we show up in, whether it is the Middle East vigil, the meditation for Ukraine, any one of the 2025, the Triangles group with Lucis, wherever we show up, this is resonating in at a greater volume is the only way I can say it. The notes are more aligned. There is a chord that is present, underpinning. And if I listen carefully, wherever I go, and I'm in a lot of different places, pumping gas, buying groceries, walking down the street, that resonance, those notes are beginning to sound. No matter the volume of the dissonance, the notes are truly beginning to sound. So I can only thank you all and honor all of you for you are bringing that forth. We are one. And I think in Virgo, I've had a greater sense of that soul of all and the combined wills, all the wills, the will to initiate, the will to unify, the will to evolve, the will to cause, the will to express, the will to act, and the will to harmonize. That 4th ray is beginning to be sounded by our groups, and it couldn't happen without all of us working together.
One question that is occupying my mind in the last few weeks is, as you said before, Joe, opening as high as we can. And for us, in several of our work groups, it means to open to the avatar of synthesis. And we know that in order to work with the avatar of synthesis, we are supposed to fulfill certain requirements. And one of them is to direct the capacity to direct energy. And not only the capacity, but yeah, to stand there, the will to do that. And so I and we in our different groups think of how to do that. How do we, who are we? You know, on the one hand, yes, we are the ones that are supposed to show up and do this work. On the other hand, this is really pioneering work and high voltage work. So how do we direct energy? Our best thought at the moment is to work with soul light, soul energy. Not more specific than that. Yeah, in the Middle East vigil we do that, and it is, for me, it is like maybe it's a halfway process. It's halfway of the process of really knowing how to direct energy. Yeah, so we are in this pioneering process. So yeah, how to receive this energy and what to do with it. We know very well by now to radiate it in a very general way, but what does it mean to direct energy? So that's more a question, a research question that I'm at the moment very busy with.
I wonder about that question too, Uta. And what comes to me sometimes, but I'm not sure it's the right thing, so I would like input on it too, is in using thought forms, in putting the energy into thought forms that we can offer into the field for people to tap into. I think of things like what I learned about in my early work about helping people communicate, helping children communicate. And there were just basic steps like stopping a destructive behavior, at the same time acknowledging the cause and the feelings that created that behavior, and then the technique of helping to redirect that behavior to something positive. I think that's a good formula, but I wonder if that's too specific. To radiate those thoughts, is that too specific? And how do those thoughts fit in the context of the adult world and politics and nations? How do we immediately stop bad behavior? The way it was done in the preschool that I witnessed was by taking that child, wrapping them in your arms and sitting on a rocking chair till they quit kicking and screaming, and then acknowledging what was the problem, how they felt, and then showing them ways they could express those feelings that were positive, whether it was through painting or having the adult write a letter to someone that was hurting them. This is so basic, I know, but I wonder if that thought can be radiated, and then if there are ways to adapt that to a more adult, powerful world. How do you use that idea when it comes to national relationships? Or I think it's basically so sound, but how could it be adapted? And is it good just to radiate those thoughts, to put those thoughts into the atmosphere? Okay.
We live in incredible times, and the moment is now. for all of us, for stepping into the next step ahead, which by definition is unknown. As we consider this for our particular gathering of groups, as we consider the triangle between hierarchy, Shambhala, and humanity, I think the challenge is that direct line between Shambhala, the will, and hierarchy. That particular fire, that electric fire. As we stand in the midway point, indeed, as working esotericists, aspiring at working esotericists, not just radiating energy in a general way, which has, I think, is close to the heart of all of us to resonate with that in ourselves, that calls forth that in others, that evokes the soul in others, working for the souls of men. And I find this year, the thought is very widespread, first of all, on a general principle of hope. I stumbled into a shrine, a Byzantine shrine upon a mountaintop nearby. It was kind of amazing. And it was a pilgrimage spot for this year of hope. The Catholic Church Jubilee Year of Hope. And that was a pilgrimage spot for the Mary, the undoer of knots. It was quite an amazing moment. And also, considering this hope leads to also being celebrated by the Sustainable Development Goals Conference in Poland. The possibility of hope was one of their themes or keynotes or sustaining thoughts. And how does this relate to vision, which had been the previous, without vision, the people perish? What type of vision can we offer and provide? And somehow, even for ourselves, I think the vision for ourselves is an emerging sense or an exploration of purpose. I could keep going, but I will stop there. Purpose is substance. Purpose is there's substance to purpose.
And the Tibetan tells us in telepathy, perhaps page 114, that the plan is substance. In the alignment, the words finally came, love one another. And at that moment, there was a tremendous gust of wind. There's just a light breeze here today, a strong gust of wind. And when I opened my eyes, there was a large hawk about 5 meters, not quite sure what that is in feet, 15 or 20 feet away.
Margot, I apologize. Can you get closer to the microphone? Your sound is not very clear.
I'll come out of the go indoors. Perhaps that will help.
Thank you.
Okay, is that better now?
Let us try. Yes, sounds a little bit better.
Is that better, stronger?
Mm.
No. Okay. Sorry, I don't quite know how to, I'm on my phone.
It's better now. Yes, a little bit better.
Okay. Okay, good. It looks like I'm not used to doing this on my phone. So purpose and directed purpose. And I didn't know those two words or the idea of those two words until I heard Uta say them in one of the vigils. And it was such a strong call that I started doing some research and found that as many of you know, I'm sure, that the avatar of synthesis holds this directed purpose. And there is something, as I've made a commitment to exploring this, to standing in this, to working with this. Maybe it's illusion, I don't know, but it feels, it's the substance of it, it feels like an open, direct, clear channel and call to be part of the world group. It takes a large group to have this field to work with and have this field pass through us. In terms of the plan, and I was reading in Super Mundane and Idea, the Super Mundane one the other day. In co-measurement comes discernment and awareness of the plan.
Oh, I can step in with this because that's exactly what's the pondering that I've been doing since yesterday. I think it's the moment in time, in astrological time, with the equinox, and that's the purpose, the goal. When I come to this energy, which is purpose, it is and directed purpose is a method, right, that Christ uses. How can we reflect that energy in our life? Well, and they realize that in order to set up a goal, even a goal, right, aligned with the purpose, one needs to be aligned or grounded in reality. And it sounds easy, but it is not an easy task, because a lot of still monastic presence, and it's a lot of desire unfulfilled, unenlightened, and after that enlightened desire that still is not the aspiration. It's in the process of shifting into aspiration. It's how do we work with that? How do we direct energy when we are not really anchored in ourselves, in the inner self, and therefore in the group, but still I think expanding group consciousness, and aligning with the group consciousness, developing our group living, our ability to live as a group, not just to meet once in a while, just to be on the path of becoming group disciple. It is much needed, and as I see it coming at the moment, it's just whatever we build on our individual platforms going to be shifted aside, you know, and this group presence will become our major purpose and goal at the same time. Our ability to live like that. True light. Martin used to like living discipleship. That's the term that came about in LifeBridge meeting many years ago, and it's developing through the group and their connection to the hierarchy. And it's it would be good. Would be good to start paying attention to that.
The question that keeps coming up to me, Katya, is how do we focus group energy? Is there a difference in even procedure or something that we will come on to as far as being able to focus the energy of the groups?
I think it happens to us more and more through our intergroup telepathic experiment. I think we made a huge step forward, and these telepathic incidences, they happen more and more. And in sharings like this and other groups, we see that, oh, I also had this idea. Oh, lately, this is what occupies my mind too. So we can get a sense of what is being precipitated into our field and what are we as an intergroup already intuiting. Yeah, so I think we are, like Katya, like you said, our individual or individual group agendas are becoming secondary slowly to this intergroup experience that is being born in us, which leads us also, because there is a certain, yeah, maybe more livingness. It feels living, it feels more magic, it feels, wow, this is something new. So it attracts us. So it's building up, it's maybe cumulative. So I think we're quite doing well with it.
Yeah. Well, I think we're doing quite well, but the question is not, it's there is always this line between ourselves in the past and ourselves in the now, but yet there is a point of our goal. So I hope our ability to work with that too. Maybe Lynn, it's about living in the group energy, like getting ourselves really immersed in this group vitality, group consciousness, group heart, group, and recognizing group karma as well, So kind of noticing that part of the reality. I felt down recently. I'm going to physical therapy, right? And the therapist, is inviting me to actually notice my bones in my body. you know, and I'm like, realize, oh, come on, what bones? I mean, I barely notice the body when I move around, right? But, you know, there are people who are really connected with the structure and whatever holds us, you know, this energy structure, like the physical bones, but there are energy lines that hold us and connect us. And this is, it is a really most beautiful, interesting, but very challenging and taxing work that needs to be done, you know, and we're doing it, you know, and we could do more of it. That would do us good. That's what I think. Thank you. Not I think. I don't think that. I see that. I see that the more we do, the more we orient ourselves toward those aspects of our group life, the greater is connection and more ability for love to be shared and used for service and will as well. Thank you.
This time of the Virgo new moon, I find the need for personality purification to also be a lot of release, a lot of releasing of that which is not love, that which is the past, that which will not last. Light the path ahead. A song.
Going back to a question that Uta shared about how we direct energy and in the algorithm that DK suggested to us, working with the energy of avatar of synthesis, the first step there is clear vision of the plan. And that's where it becomes very challenging for us to direct energy, because we know that between the first and the second initiation, it's so-called the phase of blindness. And it's just the reality with which we have to deal. So till we reach more advanced stages, when the third initiation, when we have a clear vision, we don't have clear understanding of the plan. And so my sense in response to Uta's question is that when we come as a group, and group that has shared commitment to work they do, the clear understanding of their purpose, and they have established rhythm of work, they or we, each of our groups, or each of our individual groups, we have capacity to create and open a channel through which we together in the group formation can get glimpses of more clear vision that are not accessible to us as individuals. But when we are groups, we have that potential to see more clearly. On a more practical level, answering that question, my sense is that we can still work without that clear vision of the plan, what is it now, basing our intention on understanding of the laws and principles, like principle of right relationship, principle of goodwill, principle of oneness, and direct our energy in accordance with those formulas that's been given to us and that we can be sure. It's just one of the ways. it's in a response to what we've been talking so far. But I also want to bring another recognition of the past month that's been with me for days and last couple of weeks, actually, since Helen, you led the vigil, the daily vigil, a week or so ago, and offered us to reflect on the topic of peace, and offered that quote where DK says that peace was the goal for the Atlantean, for aspirants in the time of Atlantis, and it's not the goal anymore for us. And it's interesting to think about it today, and the International Day of Peace. What is actually peace? So when we call for peace and when we meditate for world peace, what do we actually mean? And my recognition is that it's the word harmony is much more close to the meaning for that, like what we can call, what we can invoke, especially that fourth ray is now coming into full manifestation this year. To think about dynamic harmony, not peace as a static thing, as a maintaining status quo, but as orienting ourselves to the higher level of harmony, recognizing that on each step of evolutionary ladder, that level of harmony might mean something different. And that for a big part of humanity, that harmony is not quite what is we recognize as harmony. But again, it's more as a more and more questions that it brings. But it's an important thing to reflect on it, because especially at this time of crisis, which in my recognition is very similar to what was happening 100 years ago, 80 years ago with the World War, where DK didn't spare good words for pacifists, for those who called for peace at the time of war. So we're in a similar position, and I think it's important for us to recognize that this standoff between forces of light and forces materialism now is quite acute in humanity. And it's not the peace that we need, but development and movement.
I read in one of the Bailey books one time, and I can't remember which one, it was quite a while ago. DK defined peace something like being your true self. It was something to that effect. Being who you truly are, or people being who they truly are. And I had to think about that, and I assumed what he meant is coming into our soul consciousness and so forth, which maybe kind of isn't answering the question directly, but yet that's what he said.
I have a lot of thoughts that are just kind of pouring in, but a couple of notes. First, listening carefully as we do to each other, and yet recognizing that we, in our personalities, cannot know the experience of the other. So with this challenge of aligning with the avatar of synthesis, there are some steps that each of us need to accomplish. And one of those is to practice, and that is the verb for practical, is to practice the concept of there is no separation. How do we practice being one in every moment? You know, how, and everyone will have a different answer. I mean, there is no answer for any one of us that is wrong or right, but we have steps to accomplish as personalities And we're given the opportunity to practice this whenever we're together, whenever we meet. The second part of this for me is, and DK said that he created word prisons in his books. And I think that because I've had the privilege of working with many non-English speaking groups, not only professionally and in many avenues, but also in spiritual work. And the gift that comes to us every time the great invocation is sounded in another language reminds us of how we separate ourselves with words. And when we really listen to that shared expression with the other language, the note of that language, it's the call to recognize that we need to practice this unity. The best example in my experience with the groups that we are part of was what came etherically and yet on a soul level in the sharing that was done, the group that met in Switzerland. There was this profound sharing that came from that group that gathered, and I took it as they gathered on the behalf of all of us to really meet in a deep unity. And there was a substance that was shared with all of us. And I believe that we have that opportunity every time we meet together to create that unity, the substantive unity that reflects the soul that we are becoming part of, the soul of the new group, the soul of the higher. And whatever anyone says is less important than the fact that we are meeting together, that we are sharing from any one personality perspective, and that we are building this substantive field in a way that none of us can probably express or reflect. But my experience is that we are building this field. We may be frustrated that we can't move fast enough. We may not be able to see what is happening that is building the shift. But I do have the sense that we are part of this. We are aligning with the avatar of synthesis and with the great triangle of synthesis, including the spirit of peace and the Lord Buddha. It is wisdom and love and this synthetic will that we are aligning with. It is palpable, actually, I think at times. So I'm always orienting to that because I know that I will fail to express verbally what that experience is. And yet the knowledge, and it is a knowledge, it's of that experience, being able to tap it at when it's needed or when I have the opportunity is really evidence to me that we are moving forward.
I would like to just say that what Uta and Alexander were saying about the telepathic connections that have been developing these last months, I wholeheartedly feel that and agree with it and feel that it's already happening. We are one. We're hearing everybody today and over these past weeks. We're one, we're operating together, and it's very joyful. So thanks a lot.
I'd also like to say how strong the telepathic connection seems to be developing. When we're listening just now, reminded me of our don't remember the names of all these groups. The group that looks at the new moon and the full moon. We have questions for the month. And one of the questions at the moment is what is the difference between love and embodied love? And I think that is what one of the things that we are discussing this evening. And also a little earlier this evening, the three of us here actually were meditating on justice. And all of us found it was interesting. We went into the meditation with one idea of justice, and afterwards we had all changed our view about what justice was. One of the things that came up in the discussion was Paul or Saul persecuting the Christians and then becoming blinded and turning to Christ, or having some sort of initiation, whatever it was. And just when Alexander spoke of the blindness necessary between the initiation, again, I thought, this is the same strand of thought that is weaving, and it's between the groups. And I really do appreciate that. Thank you.
I'd like to follow up with Helen, because as we all hear, love is blind. And I think back to what Darcy and Joe brought to our attention, which we all are aware of, that we are the new group of world servers, and that we all connect and reconnect, and in many, many meditative forums. But I can speak to the fact that every day I bring you all into my life. You are my family. And that family expands beyond the names, because in many ways, if I were to see you all walking down the street, there would be a blindness in me. I wouldn't necessarily recognize your form, but I would surely know your voices. And there's something beautiful in that is a blindness, but is truly eyes open in the heart. And there is a love that we have created between us that expands out into all those others that we don't know, but who walk on this same path and do this same work for freedom and for unity and for the aspiration that we are a family, that we are the family of man, that family of humanity. So I walk in blindness, but with great love for all of us and all that we do together. It is a precious gift in my and all of our lives.
Quelques mots sur la synthèse appliquée avec la nécessité d'éveiller l'âme des nations, de les relier dans un tout, l'humanité, avec l'impact de l'énergie de l'avatar de synthèse dans cette communauté des nations qui forment l'humanité tout entière. La notion aussi de fermer la porte de la demeure du mal en libérant l'essence de vie et le flux d'amour qui demeure en toute chose pour détruire les obstacles en nourrissant la vie. Et cette notion d'amour infini qui englobe tout, cet amour protecteur, nourricier, et cette énergie qui émane d'une étoile, une étoile rayonnante, très rayonnante ce mois-ci, peut-être Spica de la Vierge, avec l'impression qu'un germe de vie et d'amour était ancré sur la Terre, peut-être dans le point focal de, de l'Assemblée générale des Nations unies, peut-être, comme s'il y avait un point focal sur la Terre. Et cette énergie, elle est disponible pour tout être, tout groupe, dans toute action collective qui vise à répandre la bonne volonté et à nourrir le germe de vie monadique en tous pour diriger les affaires mondiales. Il y a vraiment cette notion de direction des affaires mondiales. Et cette énergie de l'avatar de synthèse qui est là et qui est disponible pour le nouveau groupe des serviteurs du monde dans cette action de direction de l'énergie, à partir d'un point focal, à travers lequel la lumière, l'amour et la puissance sont disponibles pour l'humanité. L'humanité comme un tout. Merci.
Alexander, was this translated?
Unfortunately, it wasn't translated properly because I think, Christine, you set up your language, speaking language as English, and it was not translated in the captions. Maybe, Daniela, would you be able to give a general idea what Christine said?
If I may, Christine, si je peux te demander de peut-être synthétiser ton message ou quelque chose que tu voulais dire, que comme ça je peux le traduire.
Oui, merci.
Merci.
Du coup, j'ai commencé avec la notion de la synthèse appliquée.
So Christine began with a notion of synthesis, applied synthesis.
Et pour ça, d'éveiller éveiller l'âme des nations.
Which awakens the souls of nations.
Et les relier ainsi dans un tout, l'humanité.
And thus links everything into one humanity.
Et l'apport de l'énergie de l'avatar de synthèse dans ce travail de lien de toutes les nations en une unité.
And the work of the avatar of synthesis, into bringing the nations into one whole.
Fermer la porte ce qui peut permettre de fermer la porte de la demeure du mal.
What can allow the door to evil to be closed.
En libérant l'essence de vie et le flux d'amour qui demeure.
By liberating the will to love and
permettant de détruire tous les obstacles.
To allowing to break all the obstacles.
Et cet amour infini qui émane, qui englobe tout, qui est protecteur, qui est nourricier et qui porte la vie.
And that all-encompassing love that brings life and unity.
Qui nous a été transmis ce mois-ci par une étoile de la Vierge, peut-être Spica.
And that was transmitted to us by a star of Virgo, maybe Spica.
Et un germe une graine, un germe de vie et d'amour a été ancré sur la terre.
And the germ of life was anchored on the earth, in the earth.
Peut-être dans un point focal de l'Assemblée générale des Nations unies,
Maybe through the focal point of the Assembly of the United Nations,
et pour, qui peut permettre du coup, cette énergie peut permettre de diriger, avec l'impact de l'avatar de synthèse, peut permettre de diriger les affaires mondiales.
and maybe with the impact of the avatar of synthesis, this energy can maybe direct the world affairs.
En nourrissant le germe de vie monadique à travers le nouveau groupe des serviteurs du monde.
By nourishing the monadic life of the world servers.
Merci beaucoup.
Merci. J'espère que j'ai bien traduit.
Merci, Christine. We're coming close now to the end of our time together this time. And so if anyone else would like to offer closing sharing, please do it now.
Mention the words of the Tibetan. See to it that you battle.
Gratitude for this opportunity for all of us in the intergroup to see and listen to each other. To see and listen to each other. To be and listen to each other.
The new moon is a time when we always invoke the unity of the new group of world servers and strengthening the hands of all world servers. So let us, our collective invocation, reach all workers of light, directing the light to them to strengthen and support their work. And we close our work as always with a ritual that Daniela takes us to radiate and direct this energy to all light workers. Over to you, Daniela.
Thank you. And all this 2 times this year with the Great Mother. So we will complete our gathering with the ritual through which we will voice together the last sentence of the Great Invocation. We will be scooping the light and love and power onto the plane of the earth and then open into blessing our hands, and we'll finish with 3 Oms with Dharma Chakra Mudra in this position, offering it to the world, and then opening our hands in symbol of generosity. Let light and love and power restore the plan on earth. Om. 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 Thank you, dear friends.
Mm.